Welcome to practice. Set yourself up in whatever you've got, whether it be a sliver of space or your dining room with everything clear to the side. Today I've got a guest practitioner with me. She is 6 pounds, 4 legs, and will likely be in Shavasana most of the time. She's under this clump of blankets that is currently itching and scratching and moving around, probably fidgeting into that perfect Shavasana pose. We'll see if she makes an appearance. That's up to her. We're going to be doing a bit of movement today to open up the front of the body and to just get all those creaks and cobwebs out. Generally speaking, I teach from what it is that my body needs. I'll offer it to you to take or leave whatever it is that your body might benefit from. So, to begin, let's come into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you today. It might be cross-legged. If you'd like, you can place something underneath your sit bones. Maybe a blanket, a pillow. If you have blocks, great. I'm going to choose to go prop-free for today's practice. I encourage you, if you feel like you need some props, to add some stuff in. Books can be the equivalent of your blocks if you need them. Blankets can support your knees if they get cranky through practice. Be creative. Grab whatever you have around. You might be surprised how creative you can get. So, in your comfortable seat, whether it's cross-legged or on your shins, make sure it's someplace that the spine is long. So you're inviting a little bit of activity through the whole core. So not just the front of the core, we can feel the sides of the body sort of lacing up and lengthening your spine. The back body is active, so the back body is helping to support the front body. And the front body is helping to support the back body. So all of this is wrapping together to allow you to find some length in your spine and a bit of containment. So, whatever you've chosen, take a deep breath in. See if you can lengthen your spine on that breath in. When you breathe out, keep all that length you've just created, and then let your sit bones get heavy, almost like you're anchoring your sit bones down, and the crown of your head is bobbing just above the water. So you're really dropping that length down the body. You can feel yourself really root into the ground and find a bit of lightness and height through the crown of the head. All right, another breath. Take a deep breath in. Keep that space and then breathe out. Find that connection to the sit bones, to the ground. One more breath. Deep breath in. Big breath out. I encourage you to consider a meditation, whether it be before or after class when you practice. Something to sort of settle you into this state of mind. But today, we're going to move. So with your breath, take an inhale and take your arms outwards, like you're really reaching out, spreading your chest open, and then reach the arms up like you're spreading your rib cage wide. When you exhale, palms press together, and you draw a line down the center of the body. All right, let's take that with the breath. Inhale out and up. Exhale, sit deep, but stay tall. Again, inhale out and up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Take an inhale and sweep up. This time, keep your arms right beside you. So do your best to hide them out of your gaze. So draw your arms behind you. Drawing your shoulder blades together. Make sure you're not letting your ribs or your belly sort of flare forward. You're pulling everything in and rising up, getting tall. Notice if your shoulders get a little cranky in that process and give them just a bit of ease. Yeah, beautiful. Nice deep breath in. When you breathe out, you're going to keep yourself just like this and then rotate your chest over towards the right. Pay attention to if your arms are now within your view. See if you can draw them back behind you. Knit your whole center body in to get tall. And now as you exhale, you can let your arms reach out wide. So you're in a really honest twist. It's probably not where your ego wants to go, because a lot of times what I see when we come into these twists is this action, which is really just this shoulder pulling itself back. When you come from this space where you've got yourself lined up, you rotate from your chest, so it's your spine doing the rotation, not the head of the shoulder. Then you can expand out, and don't worry about where your arms have landed, unless you're touching something, and just be mindful of that. See if once again you can inhale and get tall through the spine. When you breathe out, just the chest starts to rotate further, not the shoulder, just the chest. If you feel yourself cheating, bring your arms up and work from that space. On your next exhale, come all the way back through center. Bring your hands down into your chest. Relax your hands down, maybe even a little bit of a shoulder roll. Take an inhale and sweep up. Exhale, rotate over towards the left. So you're drawing your belly in and up to find that space, that length. And the exhale, you rotate the chest as opposed to just the shoulders. If you'd like, you can expand the arms out. But again, inhale to find length. Exhale to rotate the center of the chest. Beautiful. All right, inhale back up through center. Hands into the heart. Give yourself a little shoulder roll. And then let's head to tabletop. Hands and knees. All right, setting yourself up, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And I like to sort of rock back and forth and recognize if one of my hands or knees is holding more weight, and see if you can even it out. All right, spread the fingers nice and wide. Sort of grip onto the ground, and then really start to rotate yourself. So you press down, rotate the front of the or the eyes of the elbows, the inside of the elbow, towards the front of the room. They don't have to be locked forward. I'd actually prefer that they don't lock. A little softness at the elbows, but you're aiming them so that you can really extend the strength of your arms. Not extend and lock, but extend the strength of your arms, really rooting down to press away. Press your shins into the ground and feel your belly sort of pick up and engage. This is tabletop. Really rooted and sturdy. Put a piece of glass on me, set your coffee on top, you're good to go. I haven't lost my cheesiness, guys. On your next inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. On your exhale, begin to round your spine, tucking your tailbone, taking your gaze beneath you. Just a few rounds to warm up the spine. Inhale, belly drops, the gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine. And then take a little bit of movement, a little freedom in how you travel. So that might mean swaying the hips from side to side. That might mean coming onto your forearms and getting into the shoulders. Just start to move into the body. Notice the places that feel a little tense or even cranky, and see if you can give them a little space. A little bit of gentle therapy. Extend your arms out nice and long. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Return your hands underneath your shoulders, knees under hips. Press into the earth and really extend into strength. Belly draws in to support the spine. The muscles of the arms are extending and gripping the earth. Tuck your toes and see if you can find all 10 toes planting into the ground. On your next exhale, lift your knees just an inch off the ground. Just trust your body, your hands and toes to connect and support you. And then return your knees back down. We're going to take that again. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your knees just an inch. And exhale, return them back down. On your next exhale, lift your knees an inch. And then extend the hips all the way up, creating your downward facing dog. Take a little bit of movement first. Just settle into it. And then we're going to start with just a little bit of traditional movement just to get ourselves around the mat. Start in downward facing dog. Feet are about hips width apart. Hands or shoulders width apart. Press the heels of the hands into the ground, and then imagine you're pushing the floor away from you, sending your sit bones, your hips nice and high. Notice if your heels start to get jutted up to the sky. See if you can relax them down. And then the points of your feet that are connected to the ground, can you press into them and imagine that you could take your mat apart. Really start to engage the legs. Do your best to not lock the knees out. Give them just a little micro bend so the muscles are active. Hug your arms in towards your ears. Take a deep breath in and then exhale and knit your ribs in towards your chest. Take an inhale forward into plank pose, shoulders over wrists, heels over toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, lift your heels nice and high, soften your knees, and then take a gentle walk towards the top of your mat. You're coming into your ragdoll. So you should find a little bit of space, a little bit of looseness, like a ragdoll. You can separate your feet, just start to hang yourself forward. See if you can really lengthen out your spine, just using gravity to draw the head down, the hips high. And then walk your feet back underneath you, your hips width distance. If you need a measurement, you can bring 2 fists in between your feet. So it's a foot, a fist, a fist, a foot. And that's going to be a rough estimate of your hips width distance. Start to send a little bit of weight forward, keeping the feet connected. Hips and sit bones high. On your next breath in, bring your hands towards your legs and then lengthen out your spine, lengthen out your legs, a half lift, an upside down letter L. Exhale, soften your knees and fold. We're going to take that again. Take an inhale, hands halfway up your legs, lengthen your spine, draw your ribs in, shoulder blades together. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, reach up and rise up. Careful of what's around you. And then hands right into your chest. And then down beside you, your Tadasana. I'm going to face you for Tadasana. Just like before, your feet are hips width distance. When you're standing, you can use your actual hips to find that position. So those pointy bits of your hips, the heads of the iliac crest. You're gonna find them. Take your pointer fingers, point down, take a look down. Your feet should be underneath where those points are. Now, pick up your toes, spread them out. Feel the ball of the foot and the heel connecting on each side. Now keep that connection and then just relax your toes down. You're just decoration. Now the ball of the foot and the heel, see if you can press into those places. Press them down and then imagine you could take the floorboards away. So you're pressing down and pulling the mat apart. You're engaging the inner ankles. You're engaging the outside of your legs. You're engaging. That's the point, right? Sometimes what happens when we focus on the legs is that our knees lock closed, so give them just a little micro bend. Just enough that you feel the front of the thighs working. You feel the back of your bum doing a bit of work. Just like when you were seated, see if you can really start to draw everything that's around the center of the body to contain in and get tall. So you're not lifting your chest forward and sticking your bum out. You're dropping your tailbone heavy, you're anchoring that down, and then lengthening everything up so you're standing tall and proud. It's up to you whether your palms are open towards the front or if you just relax them down, but the hands have a little bit of energy in them. Take your shoulders up into the ears. Let them go. Relax them down. Take an inhale, sweep the arms high. On your exhale, soften your knees and then hinge at your hips to come forward and down. See if you can come down with a flat back. When you exhale, bring your hands to your shins, lengthen your spine and your legs, your half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Press into the ground, reach all the way back up to the sky. And then hands right into the chest. Back into your Tadasana, just as active as you were before. The legs are supporting you. The core all the way around is supporting you. You're strong and rooted. Take an inhale. Open the mouth, side out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, soft knees, hinge at the hips all the way forward and down. Half lift and lengthen. On your exhale, let your hands touch the ground. And then walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Take an inhale and come forward into plank pose. On your exhale, you're going to lower all the way to your belly with care. Once you arrive, untuck your toes and then sew your legs up together so they become one unit. Hands right beside the rib cage, and then you start to hug your elbows behind you. Start with the forehead towards the ground so you've got length at the back of the neck. Do your best to keep that length at the back of the neck. Start by pressing into the tops of the feet so your legs are strong, your knees get light. And on an inhale, elbows draw together. Lift your chest, lift your head, but keep the back of the neck long. Exhale, return all the way back down. Keep the legs active. Draw the elbows together. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Press into the tops of the feet. Lift your chest away from the earth. Maybe your hands get light, so it's your low back doing the work. Exhale, return back down. Feel your hands touching the ground. And then press your knees into the ground. Touch them into the ground. Keep those points of contact, so your hands and knees. And then with a flat back, like you've got a hot cup of tea on your back, press into hands and knees and come up to tabletop. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and then inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your spine. One more time. Belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, walk your hands to your feet. Once you get there, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press into the ground with your feet and then take your arms up to the sky. Hands into the chest. Tadasana, your mountain pose. Deep breath in and a big breath out. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot back behind you. Give yourself a moment to find a momentary low runner's lunge. Front knee over front ankle. Strong and long back leg. And then drop your back knee down and come in and out of your front knee. Just starting to give yourself a bit of space through the front of that right hip. And then start to create a little bit more activity in this posture. Start to stabilize. Your front knee hovering over your front ankle. And then root into that point. The ball of the foot and the heel, press down into it. Press down into that back shin or the back toes. I don't have a preference on if you like to tuck your back toe or untuck, but whatever point is connected, press into it. So I've got a rooting sensation through my front heel, through my back foot. As I press them down, start to squeeze them together. As you start to squeeze them together, you'll feel yourself sort of auto-correct. Your shoulders land right over top of your hips. Keep drawing everything in. Just like you did seated, see if you can inhale and lengthen your spine, and exhale and anchor your weight down. Take the arms up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, relax the shoulders. And then you can start to clasp your hands. You might like to just create a fist. If you'd like to create Kali Mudra, you're welcome to draw that in. Pointer finger and thumb extend, the rest of the fingers interlace. And you're just going to start to move very gently side to side. Nothing too dramatic quite yet, just sort of checking in, maybe even circular. If you go circular, check out both directions. Keep the legs actively pulling together. Come back up through center, take a deep breath in, and then when you breathe out, start to take your hands up to the sky and gently side bend them over towards the left. Like you're trying to reach your hands diagonally to the top left corner of the room and press your right shin down into the ground. Keep breathing, reach up and away. On your next exhale, come back up through center. Return your hands down. Tuck your back toe. Lift your back knee. Hands touch onto the ground. Step your way back. Plank pose. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lower to your belly. Untuck your toes. Hands right beside the rib cage. Press into the earth. Lift your chest. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Find your hands and knees foundationally rooting down. Press into tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in and a big breath out. Inhale your right leg high, and then just move that foot around, the ankle, maybe the knee. Maybe you open and stack the hips, create a bit of space. Just start to move the leg in any direction. And then extend the leg long. The toes point towards the ground, but the heel keeps reaching up. On your next exhale, just one time, draw your knee towards your nose and pick your shin up off the ground. Exhale, send that leg all the way back behind you. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. And again, just like you did before, just a moment of your low runner's lunge, just to check in. How does your body stabilize? Drop the back knee. Walk your hands up to your front knee. And then check in. How does this side feel? How does the front of that left thigh feel? And then as you start to create space, you look to stabilize on this side. So once again, front knee over front ankle. Press into that heel. Press into the back toes or the back shin. As you press them down, they squeeze together. Your tailbone gets heavy and anchored. Get long through your spine and take your arms up to the sky. Keep your feet anchored and drawing together. And then either clasp your hands together into fists or Kali Mudra, extending your pointer finger and thumb. Now reach your spine long. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gentle movement side to side. Maybe circular. Both directions. And then through center, reach your fingertips high. And then as you exhale, side bend over towards the right. Like you're trying to reach your fingertips up towards the top right corner, and you root into your left shin, pulling it towards your right heel. Take an inhale back up through center. Exhale, return your hands down. Tuck your back toe, lift your back knee. On your exhale, step forward and fold. When you get there, hands to shins, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Press into the ground, reach up to the sky. Hands into the heart. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take an inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Step your left foot back behind you. And then keep your back knee off the ground. So your low runner's lunge. Give yourself time to find it, to feel stable and structured in your legs. See if you can press into them like you did before. Your front heel, the front ball of the foot, the back ball of the foot. Press them down and pull them together. And then settle your left hand towards the ground, trying not to put so much weight into it. And let your right hand get tall, reaching it up to the sky. See if you can lift your left hip back up in line with your right. Extend that left leg long. And then on your exhale, both hands come down on the inside of that front leg. You can walk that right foot out towards the right. And then come into lizard lunge. And this can look however you'd like it to look. You might stay lifted just like this, maybe hugging your right knee in towards your right shoulder, really creating that strength. You might drop your left knee down. You might start to open up your right hip. And if you choose to do so, I'm going to ask that you keep that right foot active. I'm going to turn around and show you what I mean. It's going to be a little different variation. So, that first variation, imagine my back foot is tucked and lengthened. I might be able to do it against the wall. In which case you're strengthening. To press the knee into the shoulder. This might be one of those bloopers real quick. So knee into the shoulder, hug in, hey cookie. Or, if you're choosing to open up the hip, You pull the toes back towards your shin, and then come to the outside edge of the foot. So you keep that foot actively drawing in. You can feel the inside of your thigh start to wake up. See if you can make it be with intention the way you move into this. So you're not just sort of hanging into it. You're paying attention to what it feels like first when you pull the toes up. You pay attention to what it feels like when the knee starts to drop open, keeping it active. Now, whatever it is that you've decided to take one more breath in, and a full breath out. If you've dropped your back knee, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and as you exhale, plank pose. Doesn't have to be fancy, get there however you need to. When you exhale, drop your knees down. So you're in a modified plank pose. You're not in tabletop. Your hips are a little bit further forward of your knees. So your core has to do a bit of work to hold you up. Do your best to not sort of sink into it. Push yourself away from the ground and feel yourself steady into it. On your next exhale, soften your elbows, point them behind you, hug them in, lower halfway down. When you breathe in, send your chest forward, come to the tops of your feet, and then make your way to downward facing dog. Take a full deep breath in, and a big sigh out the mouth. Deep full breath in, big breath out. Inhale, left leg rises, and then move the ankle, the knee, the hip. Just moving that leg around in any way that feels good. Extend your left leg long. Exhale, knee to nose. Send that leg long. You're using that action to step the foot in between the hands. Low runner's lunge. Front knee over front ankle. Strong long back leg. Trust your legs to support you. Right hand towards the ground. Left hand towards the sky. Pick up your right hip, extend that leg long. Give yourself a moment to just adjust, to figure out where your alignment is. You're self-correcting here. I'm not there with you. So do the work. On your next exhale, hands come down on the inside of the front leg. Maybe those toes start to walk out towards the left. And then you choose. Maybe you stay up. Maybe you drop the knee down. Maybe you hug the knee in or send the knee out. Actively flexing your left toes. Cookie, come lay down. Cookie. Cookie. She's very confused about the setup of our living room and dining room because the whole dining room is in the living room. She's trying to get up on her couch. It's not happening. Hi, baby. Return the foot back onto the ground. This time, tuck your back toe. This might scare her. Lift your back knee. On your exhale, you're going to step your right foot to the outside of your left hand. Oh, no, just kidding. That would be very fun. Your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And sink your hips down. Little movement. Again, I'll show that to you from the other view so that you can see it. So this leg is stepping to the outside of my right hand. My right foot is already on the outside. My left foot is already on the, hopefully you figured out what I meant. Stepping the foot to the outside. And then when you get there, let your hips sink down and just let yourself move from side to side, right? You might even take a few moments of stillness in Malasana, hands into the chest, really drawing the elbows to the outside, the inside of the thighs. And then a lot of times what happens is people come here and they just kind of hang out, right? Yeah. But we want to be a little bit more active. So with that same sensation that we were working, you press your hands and then begin to lift your chest. Pretend that the heels of your feet are hugging in and your seat lifts just about an inch. Really actively supporting yourself here. On your next exhale, return your hands down, lift your hips, come into your forward fold. You can take a little bit of movement here first. On your next inhale, hands to shins, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Press into the ground, reach up to the sky. Hands into the chest. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Return your hands into the ground. Step your way back. Downward facing dog. Breathe. Inhale forward to plank pose. Drop your knees. Hug your elbows in, lower halfway down. Don't let your head drop. Send the chest forward, beginning to straighten the arms out, and then press into the tops of the feet. Lift your knees. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep full breath in. Big sigh out the mouth. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. And then step it forward in between the hands. Send your right arm towards the front of the room, the front of your mat, and your left arm towards the back of the mat, reaching them in opposite directions. On your exhale, take yourself up and then spin yourself around. Your warrior two, so that back foot lands flat. I'm going to spin the other way so that you can see me. So when you first get into this, move into it. Give yourself time. Checking in with that front leg. Really feeling into the back leg. And then front knee over front ankle. No surprise there. Press some energy down the back leg so you can feel the pinky edge rooting down and the whole foot rooting and resting into the earth. So you're pushing the mat away from you. That front knee over the front ankle. See if you can hug that heel in towards that back heel. And then expand your arms out wide. Take a moment to surf yourself forward and back. You're looking to land your shoulders over your hips. And then get tall. And exhale and shoot some energy out the arms. Nice. Take an inhale, flip your front palm. Take it up to the sky, let the back hand just relax down. And then once it's up, see if you can really reach that hand high. And as you exhale, rotate your chest towards the sky, like you're reaching your chest up. On your exhale, come back through warrior two. Reach forward. And then your front forearm to your front thigh, your back hand up to the sky. Once it's up there, reach the hand high. And then again, reach your chest up towards the sky. Return to warrior two. Flip your front palm, take it up, and as you exhale, windmill all the way back down. Downward facing dog. Deep full breath in, and a big sigh out the mouth. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, step it forward. Take your left arm forward, right arm back. Reach them apart from one another. Really expand. And then windmill up and around. Warrior two. It's the first one on this side. Give yourself time to figure out how your body feels. It's the opposite side. It might have different sensations. Give yourself the opportunity to check in. And then create your shape, your structure. Front knee over front ankle, strong long back leg. Imagine that you're hugging yourself in to get strong and rise up and tall. Extend your arms out. Your gaze lands right over your middle finger of your front arm. Take that with a grain of salt. Inhale, flip your front palm. Take it up to the sky, backhand releases down. And then you reach up and then turn your heart up and really start to open the side body. Come back through warrior two. Reach forward, forearm to thigh, backhand up. Once the hand is up, reach up and rotate your chest up. Really hugging the heels in so you can find more length through the side body. Reach yourself all the way back up. Flip your front palm, reverse, and windmill all the way to the ground. Downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank pose. You choose. Knees up or down, lower halfway down, no further, don't let the head drop. Inhale, upward facing dog. Untuck the toes. Lift your chest up and forward. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Plank pose. And child's pose. Knees go wide. Hips back towards your heels. Head and chest heavy to the earth. If this isn't suitable for your knees or your hips, you can take the same shape with a little bit more ease on the hips and the knees, your puppy's pose. Take whichever one you can find the most ease in. Big deep breaths. Fill up on your breath in, get full of air. And as you breathe out, get heavy and sink your body's weight down. One more round of breath. Extend your arms forward, nice and active. Spread the fingers, grip onto the earth. Come on up. Begin in tabletop. And then we're gonna take a little bit of a travel. So make sure that you've got a few inches of space on either side of your mat. Got a little bit of a challenge going on right now, but I think it'll work. Sorry, Cookie, I'm gonna move you just a little bit. You're on a tilt-a-whirl. Okay. Tabletop. Extend your right leg long. Drop the toes at the back of the mat. Press into them. And extend your left leg long. plank pose. Take a full breath in. When you breathe out, take your right foot to the right and take your left foot to the right. Take your left foot through center. Take your right foot through center. Take your left foot to the left. Take your right foot to the left. Take your right foot to the center. Take your left foot to center. Drop the knees. You choose child's pose, or feel free to take a seat. You might even take a natural stretch, maybe a side bend or a twist in your seat. So we're going to travel a little bit further in those plank walks. Nothing too wild, don't worry. And for those of you that are ready for Shavasana, you've got somebody that is offering up exactly how to do it, just curled up nice and lovely. So we're all doing yoga together. She's focusing on her breath. Okay, enough chit chat. Tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Extend your left leg long, toes plant to the back of the mat. Extend your right leg long, plank pose. On your next exhale, take your right leg to the right. Take your left hand towards your right hand. Take your right hand to the right. Take your left foot to the right. Take your right hand to the left. Take your left foot to the left. Left hand, left. Right hand, left. Right hand, left. Left foot, left. Left hand, left. Right hand, left. Right hand, left. Right hand, center. Right foot, center. Left hand, center. Left foot, center. On your next exhale, lower to your belly. You can drop your knees to get there with care. A moment to arrive. If you haven't already, untuck your toes and then sew your legs up together. Bring your arms out nice and wide. Well, not so wide that they're away from you. You want to be able to tent into the fingers so that when you lift your elbows, it lands right over top of your wrist. Sewing the legs up, press into the tops of the feet so that the knees get light. On your next inhale, lift your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and exhale, lower all the way back down. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, look to the left, and lower all the way back down. Stay looking to the left and lift up. Look to the right, lower down. Stay looking to the right, lift up. Look to center, lower down. Bring your hands down beside your hips. Palms face the earth. Sew your legs up. And then on an inhale, lift your head, your chest, your shoulder blades. Keep your palms down, keep the toes down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your palms, shoot them back like you're reaching for the back of your mat. Keep breathing. Lift your toes. See if you can lift your thighs. Lift your ribs. See how much of your body you can lift away from the earth. Take one more full breath in. Reach up. Exhale, lower all the way down. You can create a little pillow with your hands. You can shimmy your hips. You can bend into your knees and create windshield wipers. And then return your hands right beside your rib cage. Find your knees. Press to tabletop. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, round your spine. Take your knees wide, hips to heels, child's pose. Feel free to wrap your hands back towards your heels. You might even like to keep your arms extended and bend your elbows so that the hands can come to the nape of your neck. Extend your arms out long. Come on up, tabletop. And then swing your legs around. And come on to your seat. From your seat, you're just going to lay down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest. A little squeeze, a little rock, a little roll, maybe a little circle. Go in one direction of your circle, just take it in the opposite direction as well. All right. Hugging your knees in. On your next exhale, just let them drop over towards the left. Once your legs have dropped over, give yourself a moment to adjust so that your shoulders can drop flat down. Maybe your arms come out wide. You're just coming into a passive twist. You can take your gaze over towards the right. And then challenge yourself to get heavy here, to really let your feet, your legs drop down so that the rotation happens in the spine and the breath is what's deepening it. Slowly, using the strength of your core, all sides of it, lift your knees up through center, and then let them drop up and over towards the other side. Stacking your knees, or taking any variation of a twist that feels okay. Arms can go out wide. Hey, maybe your gaze goes towards the left. Breaths in and out, up and down the spine. Using the strength of your core, the last bit of effort. Lift your knees up through center. Feel free to take any other movements. And then just let your legs take a comfortable shape, whether they expand out wide, whether you place a pillow underneath your knees for a little bit of support for your low back. Shoulder blades can come underneath you, and let your palms be open to the sky, ready to receive whatever it is that your body needs in this moment. Give yourself a moment to shift and fidget and wiggle. See if you can settle the weight of your body heavier into the ground, letting go of any effort. And naturally your chin will try and jut up to the sky. See if you can draw it down so that the back of your neck is long. Your chin in line with your chest. Take a deep, full breath in. And a big breath out. breath in. Big sigh out. Yourself be heavy, settled. Rest into the body. Start to come back into the rhythm of your breath. The feeling of it coming in and out. The sound of it moving through you. As the breath starts to continue to build into the body, invite a little movement into the fingers, the wrists, to the toes, and the ankles. And then you can move in a way that your body is requesting, whatever it is that it needs. It might ask to stretch out really long. Might ask to curl in close and contained. And gently, you'll eventually land your body over to the side that's most inviting, into the fetal position. Just giving yourself some time to find a bit of gratitude for your practice and this moment that you took out of your day, a little reverence. Soak it in. Gather it up, whatever it is that you need. And then exhale and let go of what's not serving you. Settle your hands to touch the ground, using them to press into the ground and lift your way up. You can keep the eyes soft, or maybe even they're still closed. Draw yourself into a comfortable seat. Once you arrive, take a deep breath in. Big sigh out the mouth. If it serves you, you can draw your hands together, palm to palm. Maybe they rest at your chest. Maybe your hands land over top of your heart. I bow to you, to your presence for showing up, to your capacity to be honest about where you're going and everything you choose to do, to your light, to your divine. Namaste. Thank you for being here, for sharing your practice with me and the lump of blankets that we sometimes call Cookie. By all means, share any comments or questions that you might have, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.